Should you start playing League of Legends in 2025? And for my veteran players, if you could start all over, would you tell yourself right now to start playing?
For most people, the answer to this question is heck no. League is an old game that is considered dying. It's got an aging population. There's too many champions with too high a steep learning curve. We don't know how long League is going to be around. League's glory days are behind us. I've heard it all. I would like to propose to you a theory, and hear me out. Now is the best time for someone that has never played League to start playing League. In order to answer why it's the best time to look at League, I think we need to look at the historical journey that the community's been on, because ultimately when people are asking, should I start playing League in 2025, it's a two-pronged question. One, is it worth investing time into this game that may or may not be around in the future with the population in its current state, knowing what we know? Second, is the game even fun? Would it be fun for a new player to start playing this game? And again, to answer both those questions, let's jump back in time.
A lot of people already know this, but Riot is not the one that invented the MOBA genre. It was actually a mode inside a little old game called Warcraft 3 called Defense of the Ancients. And let me tell you, if you never played Warcraft 3 back in those early 2000s, it was one of the most vibrant communities you had ever seen.
Before the age of digital, online, Steam, XYZ, there were really only a handful of massively popular titles out in the world. You could think of games like Diablo, StarCraft was huge. Warcraft 3 was probably one of the most popular games in the world at its time. Warcraft 3 was insanely fun, and it had a die-hard community. I used to play this game with my uncle and my dad as a little boy. I was an Orc Blade Master gang. My uncle played Night Elf, my dad played Alliance, and we would play 3v3, and it was one of the most fun. The custom game inside Warcraft 3, though, was the birth child of nerds and gamers. We used custom games inside Warcraft 3 as a means to connect to each other because we didn't have Steam and all these other things, right? So gamers came together and created this amazing PvP arena, 30-minute or less experience that everybody could reset and have a ton of fun playing in kind of this community-driven game.
I guess the point that I just really want to drill home is even from the early days, before Riot was ever even to monetize and make League of Legends the giant that it is today, it was always the players that created the charm.
We kind of know what happened after this. Eventually, a lot of competitors came out. Dota came out first. Then Riot was really the first one to offer a polished solution that multiple people could download. It was free to play. A lot of people have talked about this. League of Legends just took the world by storm back in the day. It was an incredible time to be hopping into the early Season 1 to Season 3 days. We had the first wave of professional players, the Odd One, Dyrus, Ara. It was just so fun to see these up-and-coming players. In addition, League had this charm to it where it felt like you were playing a hidden gem and you were showing your friends this really cool experience, and you and your friends were all like learning this journey together. This aspect of the game is gone in 2025. The community has already learned as a whole what the game is, what it represents, how it plays, what it does. But back in the days, Season 1 to Season 3, we didn't have this.
Whether we all realized it or not, an unstoppable force was about to come stomping through all our algorithms. Mr. White T-shirt, long-haired cutie pie himself. This man, alongside Nightblue and other huge titans of the industry like Phantom Lord, were creating and pumping content on such a scale, tens of thousands of viewers, that it really just opened the internet's eyes to the fact that there's a huge audience for streamers and making content that is related to video games.
We saw these titans, these cutie pies, these Phantom Lords, these Night Blues. They were literally making millions of dollars playing League of Legends, and everybody wanted a cut of that pie.
Let me tell you, I like to phrase this the pump and dump era of League content. I came about around 2016 and 2017. I was kind of a bandwagoner and hopped on this bandwagon. But League content creation went down the gutter in terms of quality in favor of just producing mass amounts of views, eyeballs, and dollars.
This was also a really good time to be joining the game, this 2015 to 2018 era, because you had so much content readily available. You could go to Twitch at any point in the day and find a one-trick playing your champ. You had a vibrant community on YouTube. You had educational. There were still kind of these fun videos being made in this Season 4 to Season 5 era. But a huge turning point, and we'll talk about this, cracks were starting to show. The first big thing that a lot of people have talked about, everybody remembers this, Donkey, who is one of the original content creators for League of Legends. To new players, they won't even recognize this name in 2025. He used to make some of the truly most authentic, just playing with your friends, having a good time to have a good time type of content. And when he walked away, it signaled a huge shift in the League community. We were about to go down the era of sweaty, try-hard streamers, and League was no longer a community game. It was about to turn into an esport, pump and dump, rake advertising dollars game, and that is exactly what happened. To give you an idea of just how bad the pump and dump is, let me just shout out some names off the top of my head. All these streamers and content creators popped up during this time. Glacier, Zwag, Heisman, Shay Shaker, Charisma, RTO, SRO, me. All of these players, and there's dozens more that I can't think of off the top of my head that all popped up during this time. The culture at this time, and I'll tell you as a content creator who was working inside the industry then, it was literally a go, go, go culture. Pump games at the highest possible rank. The higher rank you are, the more dollars you get. The more dollars you get, the more editors you get for multiple YouTube channels to pump out as much content as popular. We're going to go with clickbait thumbnails, and we're going to try and really, really, really maximize the career opportunity that we have here. And what happened to the League of Legends community is literally the decline of earnest content creation. Content creators lost all their reputations. Most of us no longer became respected because as soon as we weren't the highest ranked players on our champions, our communities no longer had our respect. In addition, we got burnt out chasing all these high ranks, and just as the Donkey leaving the community era signaled, all of us changed into a sweaty esport culture. PewDiePie had moved to his new West Coast apartment and was losing viewers. You could even see the game taking a toll on him. Iris and some of the other originators of League started taking steps back from the game, and it just seems like a bunch of cracks were showing in this 2015 to 2018 era, despite it being the era of massive dollars and pump and dump content.
As a result of all of this, in 2019 to 2024, I'm calling this the big quit, fallout, burnout phase of League of Legends community.
I know I've spent a lot of time talking about from the content creator standpoint, but you got to understand the content creators drove this culture of go, 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 high ranked, high win rates. If you don't have it, you're not good. And it caused the entire player base to just burn themselves out. The game had been out for 6, 7, 8 years at this point. And frankly, not only was the game getting stale for people who had been in the community that long, it was naturally the time for us to grow up. If you think about it, most people usually start playing video games in high school when they get the first laptop, then they graduate college. That's an 8-year runway usually, right? After 8 years, people have to go get jobs and do stuff, and League of Legends had reached this point in the community. Further, that huge pie that we had talked about of the Night Blue 3, Phantom Lord, Cutie Pie, where they were kind of the only ones raking in the millions, all these content creators that had popped up, myself included, we were getting smaller and smaller pieces of the pie because as algorithms got refined, and you'll see it even in 2025, but all the views got consolidated to the top. Only the Tyler ones at this point were making money, and it was really, really hard as a small content creator to keep justifying chasing a game that's seemingly dying, where the dollars are dropping, and frankly, it was turning into an esports game, not a streamer game, right? The streamers used to drive the culture, but the streamers all left because all the money went to esports, and solo queue wasn't fun to watch anymore if you were an esports viewer.
2025, we're at a point now where players are leaving en masse, people are fleeing to the eastern scene, esports is seemingly dying, and unfortunately it seems like League of Legends is at one of the most critical points in its history, but it's the best time for a new player to start playing.
First and foremost, if this game does die in the next few years, this is your last chance to experience it, and League of Legends is 100% worth experiencing. I would feel bad if I could tell myself all over, if I had never experienced League of Legends, I think my life would be worse, truly. I have had so many fun memories in this game through the years. I'm still playing it years later. I'm still making content on it. It is just a passion. I've got a picture of Udyr literally on my wall right now. I think that League of Legends is something that everybody should at least try and experience for themselves. And because we're at this critical point, Riot either has to listen to the fact that esports viewership is declining and they're going to have to find a way to get people to play the game again, Or B, the game is just going to die, a competitor's going to come along, and another game is literally going to take League of Legends' place. It's just going to get replaced by a way better alternative. And if that happens, great. You've got the experience in the MOBA genre to be able to hop on that fun bandwagon whenever it does come. The other thing that I'd like to say is at this point in the career, tailgating kind of on the back of content creators and everybody else just grew up. We're now in this new era of League of Legends where the people who truly love the game are returning to the game. We're actually, getting to a point in our life where we're starting to find free times where all of us are starting to get 25 to 35 to 40. And some of us just realize that there's really no other game like League of Legends out there to scratch the itch that certain champions scratch in this game. I really think that the other reason why, as a new player, it makes a lot of sense to start playing right now is because ranks literally don't matter. This game's been out 15 years. I'm going to give you the perspective that maybe you'll appreciate. I'm a multi-seasonal challenger. People like to tear that away from me, but I have ended season 5, season 6, season 7, season 8, and season 9. I was a challenger level player. Nobody respects me in 2025 because I am not currently a challenger level player. So from that perspective, let me offer you this as a new player. If somebody that has already achieved the highest ranks, if even I don't have the respect of the community, nobody does. Ranks don't matter. Play the game to improve at the game and treat it like the skill-based strategy climb game that Riot intended it to be. The other thing that I think it makes it really fun to be a new player right now is the fact that the same reason why as an old player, I complain about the current state of jungle compared to the old state of jungle, but from a new player's perspective, they never saw what the old game played like. The new game is actually quite nice. You've got timers for dragons. You've got this, that, up, down, left, right. And if somebody does like League of Legends, it's a great time for them to start playing it because the game will be a lot easier to learn even though there's not a tutorial. The final thing that I would say to anybody trying to start playing League, would it be worth it? Should you start doing it? Again, it's a two-pronged question. One, should you invest the time? And I think you should because League will either get better in a radical way or a competitor will replace it. Either way, might as well have some fun along the way, right? The second thing that I think you should think about, is League of Legends fun? I am going to unequivocally answer that question. Yes, League of Legends is a fun game. You are going to have both ups and downs, but it is an unequivocally fun game, and anybody telling you otherwise may just not like MOBAs. I think a lot of us have many, many good memories with this game through the years, and I would challenge anybody that's like, League's a terrible game, don't play it, don't start it. Everything in moderation. Just pick up the game every now and then, and there is fun to be had. Thank you guys so much for watching. I always tell people at the end of these videos, I am at your mercy. I cannot grow this stream or channel without your help. Please do me a favor and just drop the like, and if you would like me to improve the video in any way, just drop a comment telling me how I can improve the video instead of disliking. If you dislike, it's taking food out of my mouth and hurting me in the algorithm. I'd really appreciate your help on that one. I'll see you in the next one. Bye! Dang!
Call me so I can make it juicy for ya.